Afternoon, everybody. Live from Playa Dominical here in Costa Rica. We finally got some sun shining behind me, as you can see there. Today, I'm in one of my favorite moments. I'm meeting with a great friend of mine, Sergio Chaverri, which I've known for a long time, and we have a lot of different chats. Today's our first episode of Crypto Talks. We're going to be doing this on a quarterly basis to introduce you guys to long-term growth in Costa Rica and different areas of Latin America, and where Bitcoin, Ethereum, and different altcoins and stuff sit at, how you can buy real estate. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different things. Sergio, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, David. Great to be here and happy to be sharing these talks that we always have. Sergio, I'm from Costa Rica. I lead a family office, and we are always really involved in crypto transactions. I have a technology background, so always happy to share about this fascinating industry and what is happening, at least in the last months, that is even more interesting than ever.
Yeah, it's been a lot of up and down. I mean, let's jump into it. So let's get into the global kind of macro overview of everything right now. I mean, Bitcoin's been up and down and all around. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have been scared. The one thing that I know that you and I have been talking a lot and dealing with our clients is how to purchase land in Costa Rica. Where do you see the good time to take money out on Bitcoin or Ethereum or like some of the bigger ones? And what are most people doing in the market? So give us a little view and your overview of what you think the global overview of the crypto market looking like right now and in the next coming months.
Yes, I always tell people when they say, "Hey, did you saw Bitcoin is going down?" But I always answer, "Okay, agree, but did you saw what is happening globally? Did you saw Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft? Because what is happening right now is there's an uncertainty, especially because of the Fed rates that are going to happen in December. Initially, people was thinking more that there were no rate cuts coming. Now it seems that yes. So that's one part. Always consider the macro environment. And the second, that is the most important, always after an all-time high, like we had at least in Bitcoin 4 or 5 weeks ago, there's a consolidation process. So
Yeah.
a lot of people take profits, other people get out and then get in. So it's natural and it's healthy, this consolidation process. And we are honestly getting ready to see a lot of great momentum over the next years, probably. So this is a natural part of every cycle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I look at there's a lot of movement coming on. I mean, I'm a firm believer of always taking profits and re-put them back in as things happen. I think that you're going to see a lot of the altcoins also being purchased and hold right now. I mean, we're going to hit a market that comes in December. We've got a lot of different moving pieces when you look at, like you said, the Fed rate cuts coming into play and things like that. But I think there's a lot more institutional plays happening. You're seeing ETFs. You're seeing the movement of crypto escrows. You're seeing the movement of a lot of people starting to tokenize real estate, tokenize almost everything. And it's getting to a point where it's a lot more of a comfortable situation, I think, for people worldwide and even more here in Costa Rica. So, I mean, let's go down that and kind of understand the adaptation of that in Costa Rica. I mean, the crypto narrative here has been a really strong push that Costa Rica does not per se allow transactions to happen and the banks don't want to accept monies and things like that. But there are many alternative ways that both you and I know of. I mean, over the last couple of years, we've done quite a few crypto escrows, and now you've seen an increase of different companies that are doing escrow, which are certified in this country and by SUHEP, and they're starting to open that door a little bit more. What's your experience with that? What comments do you have that? Do you see that growth to continue to happen as well?
Yes, people in here sometimes, especially because of what happened in El Salvador, that hey, Bitcoin became a legal tender and all the marketing and everything.
You can buy coconuts with it.
Yes, at least in theory, because if you go to El Salvador, it's not that it's not that real like people imagine. That's one thing. Talking about Costa Rica, crypto use has been evolving a lot, especially in the luxury market in the coast. We are seeing this over the last 12 months with more people talking about crypto, telling agents I would like to pay with crypto. From a banking point of view, their initial concern is that they don't have a clear local way to comply in their opinion. So this is why For example, in our case, what we do is we rely on external compliance and international compliance. So through international structure, you're able to do it to receive crypto, exchange crypto, and connect that, like you're saying, with local institutions. But those local institutions deal directly with fiat in the traditional ways. So
Yeah.
we're mixing both parts. And the other important thing that start happening this, at least this year, is that sometimes you think, hey, in Costa Rica, there's a lot of people coming with crypto. They want to buy a real estate, and the seller needs fiat or dollars. Yes, that's a case. But what is happening also is there's someone with dollars that wants to buy a real estate asset, and the seller wants crypto. So we have done like the
The
reverse
reverse.
transaction too. Yes.
Yeah, and I think we have the ability through our different organizations that you and I work with, and some of the joint partnerships that we have. I mean, we've seen a surge of people wanting, even in the U.S., coming for saying, "Hey, I need to switch over, X amount of dollars, and I want to put it into crypto. I want to bring it to Costa Rica, and then purchase something, and vice versa." I think it's also neat that Costa Rica, you have communities like in the southern zone where I'm located right now. There's a program called Bitcoin Jungle, and I mean, you can literally go to the feria which is a farmer's market, and buy fruits and vegetables. I mean, almost every restaurant in our area takes it. I think we have one of the highest transactions of Bitcoin exchange in the world, from my understand. I'm not sure if that's exactly right, but I know it's quite high right now. And most high end restaurants, low end, I mean, all mixture, you can do it. So the adaptation and the narrative right now is becoming really strong, not just in Costa Rica, but I think in Latin America, in the US, and internationally. I mean, areas in Portugal, areas in the US. I mean, you're seeing a lot more transactional real estate, transactional of cars. I mean, anything you could think of are starting to happen. I think, we had a client of ours that bought like 6, 7 cars, 10 motorcycles. I mean, so it's, there's always a good process that's happening with this. And so I think the application is really coming into play as well.
Yes, because in the, for example, like you were saying, Dominical, also in places like Santa Teresa, Nosara, Tamarindo, there are a lot of retail movement with crypto. But for bigger assets, I think it's getting more and more common. Also because people are able to develop their tax strategy. So that's something that we have start seeing in the crypto side. Usually, family offices, sophisticated investors, they have their own tax strategy that they work with their accountants. And with crypto, we have seen very interesting approach where family offices establish their second family office. They do it in a more tax effective way, and they play with crypto and the advantage that crypto offers, of course, in a completely compliance way. People are starting to understand the benefits of this. You are able to see this from the institutional side. For example, in the US, the biggest head from BlackRock, Citadel, everybody offering crypto ETF, but more in the local side. For example, even people that has crypto using the crypto as a collateral to get access to liquidity,
Yeah.
avoid the taxable event, and buying a house. So this is something that is very interesting and is something new for this cycle to start using the, let's call it, traditional financial instrument applied to crypto assets or digital assets.
Yeah, that's a good leeway. I mean, I've also seen the introduction of a lot of now lending against their crypto, different areas where you actually take your coins, and let's call it Bitcoin, and you're putting in a program where you're lending against it, right? And so at maybe a different higher rate or something like that, and they're purchasing land, they're purchasing cars, they're purchasing different things in Costa Rica and creating different assets, but not actually selling. So they're still holding their Bitcoin, but lending against it. And that's been the case study for that's been, we've seen a lot of that in the markets, as you mentioned, in areas like Nosara, Santa Teresa, and the Baena coastline, the southern zone. And we're starting to see a big push in the San Jose area. I mean, what have you seen in your relationship up there, and stuff that you're doing with people starting to move more actually in the San Jose area?
Yes, this is starting to happen. For example, in Santana, we have enabled multiple multiple transactions, residential transactions, $2-3 million houses. In the first half of this year, a crypto investor bought a land in close to Escazú, and he's developing an sports center. We are seeing the crypto part, and the important thing, one of the most valuable advances that I have been also seeing is that you have so many compliance tools, for example, to know your transactions, to review the coins, everything, that more and more people feel more comfortable regarding the KYC and KYT process. Right now, and I always compare this with the past cycle. We receive a lot of requests from more traditional people for help enabling their crypto transaction.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, I mean, I think that on the Costa Rican connection part of it, people are feeling more comfortable. I mean, I know we have some case studies of people that run, for example, interior design shops and stuff, and they're accepting Bitcoin or Ethereum and the bigger coins, and sometimes some altcoins as well. But then you're also seeing the big push where developers that you and I are working with are beginning to look at, we've got this condo building that has, 60 units in it. Can we sell it the traditional way, but can we also offer, since the market's been a little bit flooded with inventory, can we offer it in a different manner and put it into a tokenization concept where people are buying through Bitcoin or something like that? And we're seeing a really big push in that area and direction where even the traditional Costa Rican developers are coming a lot more to us. And then we're also seeing a lot of that coming from the relocation of international buyers coming from Europe right now. UK has been a big push for us. I mean, we're also seeing people obviously from the US and Canada, but the UK and the Europe, and also a big overflow from Dubai in the cryptocurrency world we've seen a big push with that as well. I mean, what insights do you kind of see coming in the next quarter for Costa Rica and or Latin America from these different buyers? I mean, do you feel like there's going to be a big push? Do you think we're going to kind of sustain ourselves for a minute here? What do you see changing?
I see, for example, from a price point of view, that if the Fed rate lowered the rates, that's gonna be a big push, and prices will go up. How up, we'll have to see, but prices will go up. That's one point. Second point, usually after the high season starts. So from a Costa Rica point of view, foreign people, US people, Europe people start coming here looking to buy properties, everything. We have a very aggressive US administration in terms of crypto. They want to develop crypto, to mining companies, to put the US as a crypto in a crypto leadership. And this is very positive because, as we all know, at least Latin America followed the US. So now the US, as the latest economy, is saying, hey, crypto is good. We're taking advantage of crypto. We want to help crypto companies. So the crypto ecosystem, we see it more evolve, moving faster, because at the end of the day, crypto is technology, and technology requires innovation. So if now you don't have someone stopping you, like it has been happening over the last years, I see the industry more moving even faster, and more options for your crypto. Like we were saying a couple of minutes before, in the past, hey, if you have crypto, sell it, get dollars, and buy a house. Right now, if you have crypto, keep it, use it as collateral, get liquidity, buy a house, or diversify your portfolio, get leverage. There are tons of things that you're able to do. And what I have seen is that crypto investors are understanding this and are taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're looking for the different opportunities right now and taking in consideration that Costa Rica has a lot of opportunity on the table. I mean, the market I've seen, for evolving over the last couple of years, I mean, it's, traditionally I've been here almost 3 decades now. You've seen after a presidential election, things have slowed down a little bit, and then right after the election, you see this like big pump and everything starts to happen and movement starts to happen here. But you made a mention that, I mean, we do have a really direct correlation with the US markets. And as the US markets get flooded or slow down, we seem to slow down. It's usually a little bit of a delay. You'll see it like a couple months later or a year later. But right now in today's market, I would say that, we're quite saturated on the inventory for real estate in the country, as well as in the US. The rates right now are extremely high. We will see a downturn in that, which will help us. But the markets have also been up, so that's been helping people to get some liquidity and have a little bit more money to spend somewhere else. And I think that's where the crypto markets over the last couple of months have kind of we've had some peaks and really good peaks, and that's really released some leverage for people to kind of say, hey, I need to move some money, or I want to either get out of the US or get out of Europe and make some movement. So I do feel that we're going to see a lot more international buyers. I agree with you that after this week, after tomorrow, actually, Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, that we're going to see some movement on people coming in. I do quite a bit of traveling around the country to our 14 offices we have right now. And I was just up in the Papagayo region, up in Tamarindo. I'm back in Dominical now. And Dominical is busy. I mean, it was dead for a long time. But when you go downtown Dominical right now, I mean, it's last night, all the restaurants were full. There's a lot of movement going on. You actually have to make a reservation again. So it's exciting to kind of see the push, because for a while there, we were really slow on things happening for the last couple of months. Tourism, as you know, in the market has really shown a decrease. And, I think that people are, as you said before, liquidating, using some of that money to travel with, maybe using some of that money to buy something with, or just kind of open the doors and see what's going on. So I think that the next quarter, we're going to see a big push, and I'm kind of excited to see where the altcoins go, to see where Bitcoin gets back up to. And, I'll be buying more. I mean, I'm buying on the dip, as I always do. I'm sure you are as well. We've talked about this many times. And
It is a Black Friday offer, the dip.
there you go. It is. It'll be Black Friday. I've been waiting. I was laughing because we have a lot of investor groups that we work with in our capital groups, and you and I, and everybody was buying on the peak. And I'm like, guys, just wait, right? And exactly what you and I saw reading the charts. I mean, everything came down. For me, it doesn't scare me anymore. It doesn't really put me in the stress level. But I agree with you. I've been buying more this past week, and tomorrow will be a Black Friday. So that's a good comment.
Yes,
So
no, and also what you mentioned is important. Tourism has been going down in general, but high net worth individual tourism here in Costa Rica has been increasing. So we're seeing some type of shift, and also people, for example, from Canada are coming here. We're seeing capital and everything, and so there's a lot of movements here in Costa Rica. For example, in Papagayo, a lot of new ultra luxury developments, residentials, everything. So the market is moving, and crypto at the end of the day, at least here, is making things easier, because
easier.
sometimes, as you know, doing a traditional transaction require more time, and with crypto is easier. And the good part is that people are starting to understand, sellers are starting to understand here in Costa Rica. And well, this type of joint ventures like we're doing helps people, hey, just do it and we'll take care of everything, and we'll hold your hand and make the deal happen.
No, I agree with you. I mean, the UHNW mindset right now, I mean, the ultra high net worth has really changed, and Costa Rica did a really great charge of that. I mean, I was just up at the Ritz Carlton up there in Guanacaste, the Papagayo region, and it's just beautiful what they've done there. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And you're right. I mean, you got projects like the Discovery Project. You've got a lot of stuff going on in the southern zone. You've got a new marina coming up in Golfito, which they'll probably be accepting crypto. We've been talking to them about that for the new condos that they're building there. So there's a really big push of developers and this luxury market that's starting to happen in Costa Rica. I mean, you get a lot of this. Costa Rica is very expensive, and yeah, things have changed, but inflation has changed things everywhere in the world. And so I still think comparatively, Costa Rica, you can still get off the beaten path and out of the tourism areas and still get a great meal for fairly inexpensive. And it's just a great market to be in. So I'm excited to see when we come out of this quarter. I mean, I'm excited to see the end of the fourth quarter right now and going into next year. I look forward to these conversations. I hope that we can start this more on a monthly basis as we go forth right now. We're going to try for a quarterly basis as we've been put in there. But I appreciate your time, and I appreciate everything you guys do for us and the relationship. And anything you want to close with?
I mean, the same. I love to share a bit of knowledge, but more especially experiences and everything. And if we're able even to do it more frequently, happy to do it, happy to share. And in the near future, hopefully, we're able to engage even a bit more with the audience.
Yeah, I mean, for everybody that's listening out there watching this video, I mean, keep in mind, Sergio, I pretty much have touched our feet in almost everything. So if you got any questions and purchasing in crypto, buying a car, doing something, You're going to be able to click out to us, just send us an email. You can get to us on WhatsApp very easily as well, and we'll make the connection to assist you anything you need. So we look forward to helping everybody out there and kind of educating everybody as this market grows and as we grow into this as well. So we're excited to keep the talks going. So Sergio, once again, I appreciate your time. I'm going to say happy Thanksgiving. I know this is not going to probably go out till after Thanksgiving, but we're doing the day before, but we'll say happy Thanksgiving. So we're with it because we already put it out there. And I look forward to our next month's conversation.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Thank you.